Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For Pause in a Book. I make book and lifestyle related content, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today I am going to be reflecting on 2022 and talking about some goals for 2023. 2022 was a weird year. It was a good year, but it was both very long and very short. I feel like some of the things that we talked about in January, some of the things that I did in January, February, feel like they were 3 years ago, but also feel like they were last week. Time is weird. Time is weird, especially when you're neurodivergent. This is one of my favorite videos to reflect back on. It's one of my favorite videos to go back and rewatch. The actual making process of this video, not my favorite, because you have to actually reflect on what you did and you're like, oh, was not that great at doing that thing. So we are going to talk about it. We are going to give ourselves some grace, and then we are going to close the chapter on 2022 and move on into the next year. So first up, let's talk about how 2022 went, what some of my goals were, and if I achieved them.
The answer is no, not really.
We did some, but not all of it. Not all of it. Every year I come up with a word of the year and then base my goals kind of around that word, and everything that I do kind of revolves around that word of the year. I've been doing this since like 2018, 2019, something like that. With better success some years than others. Case in point, 2020's word was thrive. That didn't happen, but that's okay. In 2022, my word of the year was elevate, with the intention of just like leveling up everything in my life, both like personally, professionally, and here on this channel and my reading. I had a lot of stretch goals. I had a lot of things that I really wanted to do, and I think that I achieved some of them. You know, personally, I've elevated my life in the terms that like I did get married this year. That's pretty fantastic. We've elevated our breeding program a little bit in bringing Schmidt in, and also like I'm gonna start training and competing with him, so like that's elevating a little bit. Professionally, I have definitely done some things that like elevated my career, you know, sitting on certain panels and things like that. But the thing that you are all here for is the books and the channel, and I definitely think that I have elevated both my channel and my reading habits in 2022. For my channel, at the very basic like level, my background has changed, has elevated. We've grown out of our little like one shelf out in that little corner over here. I'm pointing at it because it's now on the opposite side of the room. So my reading goal for 2022 was 139 books. I did not know if I was gonna hit that. I did not know. Like it was a stretch goal, and I said that back in my 2022 video, and I crushed it. I think I hit 139 by like late September, early October. I'm closing in on 175 books. So next year will be fun. But I say that every year. I say that every year with my stretch goal. I also had a stretch goal of hitting 50,000 pages. I'm well over that. I'm not sure the exact page count, but it's like closing in on 60,000, I think. In 2022, we had phase 2 of the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge, where we did a lot of the Disney Plus shows. That was a lot of fun. The Avengers is officially ending in 2022. We're not planning on doing any big projects with it in 2023. However, like the Discord is still going to be open. People are still collecting Avengers like that they didn't get to during the battles and things like that. So it's still there. We're just not like adding to it this year. Now let's talk about some of the specific goals that I had for my reading. One of them was that I wanted to read books, at least 50% had some form of diversity, whether that was POC main characters, whether that was queer main characters, mental health rep, chronic illness rep. One of the ones that I added to my diversity was plus size representation, because I definitely don't think that we see enough of that. And so that was one of them. I did do this. I have a very basic way that I was tracking it, and so I would like to get a little bit better on how I'm tracking that and seeing which specific representation I'm seeing in my books and that breakdown, because I don't have that unless I like really went back and did math, and I don't want to do that. Technically, over 50% of the books that I had some form of representation, but I do want to get a little bit more specific and into the nitty-gritty about that next year. At the beginning of the year, I had 3 metrics that I was really looking at, or 3 like categories of books that I really wanted to accomplish, and then like after April, I think, I stopped tracking that. So I have no idea if I did this or not. One of them was to finish 10 series. Pretty sure I did not do that. But I stopped tracking it, so I have no idea. The other one was to read 5 classics. I know I didn't do this. I think I read maybe 3. Maybe. That's not going to be a goal for next year. I don't want to do that. It was a struggle. Like, I was literally just putting the books on my TBR just so that I would accomplish that goal. But other than that, like, there was no reason for that goal being there in the first place. So we're not doing that again. The other one is was 24 arcs. I think that I did this. We did do Arctober, so I did do a pretty big chunk there. I don't know though, because I didn't track it. I stopped tracking these things. So I'm going to try to get better about tracking them in 2023. And we'll see what happens. I also wanted to get my physical TBR down below 200. Now, prior to filming my Christmas book haul, I'm at 232, so not there. Close, but not there. I have some projects that I'm going to be doing in 2023 that will hopefully help this. We will see though. As far as my channel goals, I never do a subscriber goal, so I didn't in 2022. Like, I always have one in the back of my head, but I never want to talk about it. It's like, it feels weird. I've never wanted to do that. I did want to make sure that I was giving you consistent content, so I was making sure that I had videos 3 times a week. I think that like probably 90% of the time I did that. There were a few Sundays that I missed, and that was just because sometimes the turnaround is just really hard if you have to film on a Saturday and then edit and upload and then have it up by Sunday morning. And like, sometimes if I had had a really long week, it just didn't happen because I was just too tired to film on the Saturday. It is what it is. It's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with most of the time I accomplished this goal. I also talked about Veda in that goal video last year, and I did it in April, and I actually did pretty well. I did way better than I thought I was going to. I kind of stopped it in August. I found that it was kind of hurting my channel to do it. And not necessarily like in a bad way. And I think that Veda is really good for people that are trying to create a routine and create consistency with their channel, or just kind of give it a spark of life. But for me, I think it served its purpose, and now I'm going to be moving on from that, because what I was finding was happening was that then the next month I stopped creating content for several weeks. And so then like I kind of felt a stagnation of my channel afterwards. So Veda likely will not continue into 2023. I say that with like the caveat of in March I might decide, you know, actually I do want to do this. I am finding things out about myself that like yearly set in stone goals don't always work for me, because I definitely like I have to follow the dopamine, and sometimes that means that we just do things that we said we weren't gonna do. It's fine. That being said, there's definitely some things I'm going to be talking about that I'm hoping will be year-long projects on my channel. We'll see if I can actually finish them. Okay, so that's 2022. We're moving on onto bigger and better things. On to 2023. My word of the year for 2023 is intention. And so that means a lot of things to me. I think that like you can kind of use that word in a variety of different ways, but essentially what that means is that everything that I do, I'm going to be doing with some sort of intention, with some sort of goal or process in mind. And that's going to be like personally and in my career. Obviously I don't need to talk about stuff like that, but that is going to like move outside of just my reading and channel goals. That word transcends into other parts of my life. But let's talk about some 2023 goals that I want to talk about. So the first one, like I said, my Goodreads goal or my yearly reading goal is going to be 2022 plus 1, which will likely be like plus 175. Because I think I'm at 175 right now, and I'm filming this before Christmas. So I technically have like a whole nother week. We'll see what happens. It might be one of those things that I make my Goodreads goal lower than that, just because I hate going on to Goodreads and it's saying like, you're 5 books behind schedule. I hate that. It gives me anxiety. So like my Goodreads goal might be lower, but then like my actual personal goal is more. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I am going to be striving to hit whatever I read in 2022 plus 1. Will it happen? I don't know, because I've been reading more fantasy at the end of this year, and those are bigger books, which means I'm not reading as much. We'll see though. I am going to put back the goal of trying to finish 10 series. I will be doing a video in January where I'm talking about all of the series that I'm still in the middle of. And it'll at least give me a jumping off point of where I can go from there and try to like finish those 10 series. And like hopefully I can keep up with this. I did make a series tracker in my spreadsheet, so that's great. Love that for me. Hopefully I can track it a little bit better and I can keep you guys up to date on my monthly wrap-ups if I finish those series. For NetGalley, I'm changing my requirement a little bit. I think 24 arcs really is not even that much. And so I want to up that. I actually just want to get my NetGalley goal or like my NetGalley percentage rate to above 60%. And I am close. I think I'm like hovering right around the 50% mark, but I do have so many arcs that like bumping up that number is slow going because I've been on that platform for 4 years now. So like I have a lot of books to talk about. So bumping it up 10% will be quite a bit. If I can go higher than that, fantastic, but I don't want to like set myself up for failure. And then again, I will be trying to keep my physical TBR under 200 books. Should be a little bit easier this year since we're at 232. Granted, I'm looking at a very large Christmas haul that I need to film. So we might be higher than that. But I think at the start of last year, I was like almost to 300. So this should be easier. I also have some projects that I'm hoping will help that. For my channel goals, like I said, never put out a number into the universe. Will I manifest it on my own? Absolutely. But I will not put a number on my like subscriber count as far as that being a goal of mine. And the reason why I do that is that kind of sets me up for failure. I have no power in my actual subscriber count. I can't do anything about it, right? I can't force you to hit subscribe. I can't make you stay. There's nothing that I can do. So because of that, I don't want to put a number into the universe saying like, I would like to hit X number, because I can't do anything about that. What I can do is create content that makes you want to hit subscribe. And so that's my goal. And that kind of wraps up into that word of the year, that word of intention of like, I don't want to just put out filler content. I don't want to put out videos that people don't want to watch. I want to put out videos that make you want to hit subscribe, that make you want to continue following my journey. So that's my goal. My goal is to make videos that make you want to subscribe, that interest you, that intrigue you. I hope that I can do that. Obviously, like I can't do that for everyone, but that's the goal, is just to put out high quality content that like you're interested in. And that's all I can do. If you stay, fantastic. Love that. It's very exciting. But actually putting a number into the universe has never been something that I've wanted to do. My second goal pertains to my Patreon. Actually, my second and third goal both do. My number one goal is just to improve it and elevate it and make it like as good as physically possible. Make it what people want it to be. Because obviously, like that's definitely like that close knit group of people. And so, like I want to create content that they want to see, that that you know you want to be a part of. You want to be a part of that community. So improving my Patreon, making that like just so much better, is a big goal of mine. And then secondly, I'm going to be doing 2 rounds of Scatagorathon in 2023, at least 2 rounds. We will be starting in January, at the end of January, with our first round of Scatagorathon, which is basically my Scattergories TBR game that I did up until this year. We're making that a readathon. So, if you are interested in that, my Patreon is down below. And then the final goal that I have for my channel is to like get back into the community. I really think that I did this towards the second half of the year, this past year, and have loved it. There are so many different readathons that happen. I think in 2020 and 2021, my mental health was just not in a good space. And so it was really hard for me to stay a part of the community. And so in 2022, I really started doing it again, and I would like to continue that. I really want to participate in reading sprints, not just on my channel, which I've loved doing, but also like on other people's channels. I love being on reading sprints with people. It's so much fun. And then I like want to participate in readathons, whether that be like co-hosting them or like just participating in them. I don't necessarily have the creative energy or just like the creative mindset to create a readathon, especially because readathons these days are intense. They are like so big and there's like a production value to it, and I am not that person. I'm not. But I love being the support system for that, and I love doing the things that like other people need me to do. So I do want to co-host readathons. I want to participate in them however I can. So that's definitely a project for me in 2023, is just to like really immerse myself back into the community of BookTube, because that's one of the things that makes this space of the internet so great, is that like the people on this platform. So those are the specific goals, but I do want to talk about some things that you will be seeing on my channel in 2023, kind of do this little wrap up here. I really want to embrace the experimental videos that I have been doing over the past year and a half or so. I love them. They are so much fun. They're fun to create, and they're just fun to come up with different themes and ideas. So, some things that you're going to be seeing, obviously we'll be doing Not Your Mom's Boozy Book Club. I posted that announcement last week. We're going to be doing a monthly book club where Cal and I will read a book, talk about it on a live show while drinking adult beverages. So that's coming. We'll like alternate back and forth between channels. I'll post the announcement video up there. Reading sprints will definitely be a thing on my channel. I always go back and forth. Like last year's video, when I talked about this, I was like, oh no, I probably won't do reading sprints. I loved reading sprints this year. So they will be coming back. I'm not going to say that they are like going to be on a specific day. They're really just going to be random. They're going to be like, oh, I have a free night. Anyone want to read with me? And that's how we're going to be doing it. And then I have 3 big year-long video series that I will be doing. The first one, I will be continuing the Can I Trust My BookTube Friends. I'll be doing roughly 1 a month of those, and I'm going to be starting to include really big booktubers, like some of the bigger booktubers that I follow, trying to see if I can trust their recommendations. And then I have a year-long reading project where I'm going to be reading my physical TBR and breaking that out into a series. We'll be doing roughly 1 a month. And then lastly, a year-long 12-ish episode of an unhaul project, similar to Books and Lala's closet clean out, I think is what she called it, from like 5 years ago. Something like that. That seems like a long time. But that video was actually how I was introduced to Books and Lala. And so now that I've been on this platform for that many years, I think that it's time to do my own. So that's coming. Other than that, obviously we'll still have our bread and butter videos, you know, book hauls, things like that, unhauls. And then who knows what? Who knows? I love content planning. Like that's one of my favorite things to do. And so I think I've already scheduled out through March. So that's exciting. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any goals for this year, or if you do a word of the year as well. I'd really love to know. I don't know a lot of people that do that, so let me know. If you're not feeling chatty, since this video is coming out on Christmas, you can put a Christmas emoji, Santa Claus, Christmas tree, whatever. That is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.